Howdy YouTube. It's a nice day here in Northeast Ohio for one day and one day only.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
Why is it just one day only? Well, if you guys remember, just the other day, shot a video showing that I de-winterized the RV. And I made this statement. Okay, I found something else to do. De-winterize the RV. Yeah, it's May 2nd. I'm finally getting it to the point where I know it's not going to freeze. Actually, about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, I knew that we'd probably be safe. So I cut that statement out of the last video because I saw the forecast that's happening tomorrow night. And we're going to set most likely a low temperature record for this time of year at 27 degrees. So that's real interesting. Heidi and I's been running around. They had a flyover today. They, you know, the Heroes flyover or whatever. It's two planes that normally come through this area anyways, and it has to do with you know, the COVID thing and supporting the heroes at the hospital. So they're flying over the hospitals, so that's kind of cool. What we got going on today, we had to go get some water because we have bottled water for the house, just like when we're in the RV. We'll have bottled drinking water, not little bottles. You know, we do 5-gallon containers. It's the best way to go. But Heidi's off today. She's got to go to work tomorrow. We stayed in the RV last night.
That was nice.
And the reason is because I'm not going to unwinterize this whole freaking RV for one night or a few nights of cold. Definitely Friday night going into Saturday morning, things can freeze. So what we're going to do is, with the water that we have in the freshwater tank, we already started putting some water in the gray tank. I took a shower in the RV last night, make sure everything worked okay. We flushed the toilet a few times to put water in the black water tank. So what I'm going to do is make sure they have enough water in them, and I'm going to try out those tank heaters. And we're going to run the furnace also. So if we're going to run the furnace of the RV all night long, we might as well just stay in the RV. It's not a big deal. It's very comfortable in there. Actually, probably more comfortable than our bed. It's a little bit noisier because of traffic. Our house is definitely more insulated than the RV is. And light has a tendency to come through this RV a little bit more, but it's kind of nice. I mean, it makes you get up earlier. That's what it does. So that's what we're doing. And right now we're going to head into Salem. Kind of boring stuff. I just wanted to get this vlog of what you doing started. And yeah, maybe we'll pick this up when we're camping in the RV. But again, that's going to be on Friday night. So tonight we're not going to stay in the RV. There's no sense in it. But Friday night
We could.
We got stuff in there still, but we wanted to see what we see. The deal is when we stayed in the RV last night, it was kind of like, okay, what do we need? Because Heidi on Friday night going into Saturday morning, she's going to be going to work Saturday morning, so we got to make sure that everything was up to snuff at that point. So we got an idea of what else we need to bring out. In the meantime, one of our main goals today is I got to mow the lawn again. Even though we've got all these hard freezes coming and everything, I definitely need to mow the lawn. And bird is the word. I don't know what else to say. Look at this. So, look at that.
That's bull crap.
No, that's bird crap. Stay there. Look at that. Look at this. And so our sun, there's some on there. There's some up there. And then we got this here, this here, this here. Oh, wait. We got to keep on going. We got so many freaking birds this time of year that are just all over the place. Truck's dirty anyways, but holy cow, bird crap just adds to it. So we have an appointment on Monday. They're going to install the bed liner for us, so I don't have to crawl up in there and do that. They're also going to tent these front 2 windows to the same tent level that we had before, and they're going to put I keep on saying a sun shield, but they're basically going to put a thing, you know, like here down, maybe a little lower than that, because yeah, I can't stand, we didn't have that on the last 2 trucks that we had, and I can't stand it. It drove me crazy, but still dealt with it. So we're gonna go wash the truck and we'll pick it up then. Ain't that right? Well, we'll pick it up later. I don't know if Heidi will be here. I don't know. We may, yeah, other than mowing the lawn, there's nothing going on. All right. Yeah, we need haircuts. Heidi needs a haircut. I need a haircut. Look at Heidi's got something showing up that's in between her normal color and something else there. I can't say anything. Mine's all gray. All right, guys, we'll close it out for now. Well, it's a windy day, and we did get it washed, but I just sprayed it off. I didn't bother doing anything special on it. As you can see, I just sprayed it off. That's all I wanted to do. So let's look in here and see. Guess what? There's no water here. Yep, there is, right here. There's water right here. But that, I think, came in, I don't know. I don't know where that came in at. But there's water there. I wonder if it came in out here somehow. Because I did spray. I mean, it was with the spray, but it's definitely wet. Right there. Right where it always is. I'm telling you, it's a cap design problem. This side, it's not on this side, which is crazy. It's just on this one side. I mean, here we have 2 different trucks, 2 different caps, and it leaks in the exact same spot. So, next thing I'll do is I'll put silicone or urethane up top in between this cap and but we gotta wait. I'm gonna have them check the bulkhead seal because it kind of rolled in. If you reach up in there, you can feel the seal on top of the bulkhead of the bed, and it's flush. But as you run your hand across, all of a sudden it gets blocked because the seal rolled in and then back on the bulkhead again. So I still can't believe that it's still wet here. That is like almost hilarious. It's still wet. It's still getting wet in that same place. I don't know, man. It's crazy that this is the design. Oh well, like I said, I'm taking care of it now. I'm not letting anybody else take care of it. I will. So the work got done and the cold moved in. Yeah. Welcome back to What You're Doing, RV Daydream. What you doing? And today I have a feeling I'm going to be what you doing cold. I'm going to be chilling, literally. I did get the lawn mowed. Took care of that. Found out that those birds that were in the trees that I showed, I don't remember when that was, in a previous video, they're gone and their eggs are gone. Well, we've got hawks around here and they must have got to them. Probably because the foliage on the trees haven't bloomed as fast as they normally would this time of year. Tonight's the night that we could get to a record low temperature for this day in May, for the month of May in this area, and they're talking about mid-20s. Yeah, mid-20s, and there's a potential for some snow. Now, I've said this before, and I think I even said it on this video earlier. You know, used to be that every year since I was a little kid, I knew there was a chance of it snowing on my birthday, which is May 10th, which is actually in a couple days, I think, here. Oh yeah, wow, okay. Well, I don't know when you're watching this, but yeah, I'll be older. But I always knew that we could, you know, there was snow. We had snow on my birthday one time. I remember that. I don't remember what year or anything. I just remember it was my birthday and there was snow. And there was hardly any, but nonetheless, we had some. So I always used that as a gauge. May 10th, there could be snow. I never knew of any snow after that until probably 3 or 4 years ago. And I posted a video. If you guys have been with us for a while, I posted a video and it was snowing on May 15th. All you guys that want to know why I'm always complaining about Ohio weather, well, here it is. It's May 15th. It's It's a Sunday, and I'm covered in snow. What a lovely sentiment Ohio is giving us. Crazy. Again, not long-lived, not anything that accumulated, but nonetheless, it snowed and it was cold. So here's the deal. We've got this freeze tonight, which I need to protect the RV's tanks, and I'm not going to de-winterize it, as I mentioned. Instead, Heidi and I will just run the heat out there, and we're going to stay in the RV for the night. However, this is one of those disadvantages that I was talking about of having the tanks heated all by one switch, meaning that on the tanks themselves, they're heated. It's an enclosed underbelly on this RV, and it is insulated to some degree. It's not rated for 0 or nothing like that, but it does extend the camping season to where if you run into a couple days that it's freezing, just running the furnace should be enough to keep those tanks from freezing. However, you have those elbows that come out on this because, again, it's not a 0-degree rated RV. It's just, again, extended range camping. Now, there's some other RV manufacturers out there that have the exact same setup as we do, and they rate it for winter and stuff like that. Rockwood said they would never do that. They said they don't even really advertise other than it's enclosed and it is heated, and take it for what that's worth. Just so you can extend your camping season or start your camping season early, or like in this case, you get stuck. So again, getting back to this RV not being a fully enclosed winterized RV, the dump valves are exposed, and you've got your gray dump valve, you got your black dump valve, and of course you got your freshwater dump valve, but more importantly, the gray and the black ones. Right before the opening starts getting exposed to the outside temperature, they've got a heat pad up there. They have a heat pad to heat whatever is in that pipe, which hopefully keeps it warm all the way down to the valve. I don't know how well that works, but we're going to find out. Getting back to what I was saying, yet a tangent there. The worst part about having one switch that turns on all these external heating pads, because other than the underbelly being heated and insulated, like I said, through the vents on the RV when the furnace is running, I also have heat pads on each tank. I have a heat pad on the freshwater tank, gray water tank, black water tank, and then, like I said, the dump valves have heat pads on them also, or the tubing going to the dump valves have padding, a heat pad on them. One switch turns that on. They're 12-volt powered, so in case you're not plugged in somewhere, you can run it off your battery, which I'm sure it probably put a pretty good drain on your battery, but still, it's better than the alternative of stuff breaking. One switch turns on those heat pads, all those heat pads I just mentioned, which are about 5 of them in this case. The problem with that is you have to have at least a 1/4 inch of water covering the bottom of the tank. Now, those tanks are real big. They're as wide as the RV. And from front to rear on the RV, they're pretty wide also. Again, 45 gray, 45 black, and 60 freshwater. Now, if I had the ability to just turn on my freshwater tank and heat that water, that would be great, because I could then empty my gray water and my black water tank, and it'd be bone dry, nothing in there to freeze, and I would just have to protect the freshwater tank. But since I have to do what I just mentioned and heat all that stuff up, that means I have to have a 1/4 inch water across that big giant tank. So I'm not sure how many gallons that is. I mean, it's a few gallons, and I've got to do the same for the black tank. Now, You just seen the other day I did a review, or I kind of talked about that water softener, which when I took the shower, I did take a shower the other night in the RV. I couldn't believe how soft the water was. That's the softest we've ever had. Even our shower downstairs wasn't that soft. So that softener definitely stepped it up, because again, I filled that tank with softened water from the house, and I went ahead and ran it through that softener one more time. And it was just so slippery, so slippery. I mean, you could tell that it was definitely softened water. So that thing works. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to have to see how it works in the long run, but still. There's always some debate about that too. Let me tell you guys, if you don't have well water, what they rejuvenate it with is salt. The salt should dissolve and get rinsed out to the point where you can't taste it. Whenever you have to do a, after 1,600 gallons of that water softener doing its job, you need to go through the rejuvenating process and, letting it cycle and clean out the medium that's in there, all that resin, of all the contaminants, so it can continue to do its job for another 1,600 gallons. The problem lies is when people don't do a good enough flush of the softener, and the softener retains a little bit of salt, and then you put that salt in your system, and you can imagine what salt does to the tank in your RVs. If you have a metal tank, and I'm talking about the hot water tank, the same thing that happens to cars in the Northeast, they rust. Basically what I got to do to save all that nice fresh water, softened fresh water that I have in the freshwater tank of the RV, which I have about a third of a tank in there. So it's a 60-gallon tank. I don't know, let's just say it's 20 gallons. I don't think that it's that much. Let's say it's more 15-ish. Because that third, who knows what it's actually reading, what it's actually got in there. I'm going to have to get some good sea levels one day and install them. But the gray water and the black water tank, has a little bit of shower water in there. We flushed the toilet a few times, so there's some water in there too. But what I'm going to do is just take our garden hose and I'm going to run it into the toilet and just put about 5 gallons in there, maybe 8 gallons at the most. And then I'm going to do the same for the gray water. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the gray water tank, about the same. Just pouring the garden hose direct into the faucet, the shower drain. And that will allow that tank to also fill. That way, when I flip the switch and it heats up the water, there'll be plenty of water in there. Now, I'm sure there's going to be people that are confused on this. You cannot turn on those pads, those heat pads, when there's no water in there. The reason is, first of all, I asked that question immediately, and the service manager at Ruff's RV at the time, I don't know if he's still there, he got injured, he had said, I have seen those tanks get melted with those heating pads. Now, the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, well, there's a thermostat that's built into those pads so they don't overheat. You're absolutely right. There is a thermostat in there that keeps it at like 40 degrees. So if it drops to like 35 degrees, those pads come on automatically and they heat up to 40 something degrees and then they shut off. The problem with those thermostats is that they have to have something to sense the heat so they can turn on and turn off. And that plastic that those tank walls aren't that thick. Those tank walls won't necessarily say, okay, we're warm enough, let's shut off, to the rest of the pad. So even though the heating source is in one place, the thermostat is only located in another on the pad. So the problem you can see then is the heat's happening over here, and in the meantime the thermostat's over here, and that plastic isn't transferring the heat that the pad's generating through the plastic to the thermostat to shut it off. So what it does instead is it just melts the plastic because the heat just keeps on going. They never communicate with each other. That's why you have to have water in the tank. So just dispel that whole misguided idea that you don't have to have water in the tank. It shuts off automatically because there's a thermostat in there. Because you have to have something that will transfer that message to the thermostat through heat, through conductivity in the water. And it won't happen without the water part of it. Now tell me if this don't look like fall. I mean, the wind's blowing and it's cool. It's just cool outside. Oh my. I said I did get the lawn mowed. I was happy about that, but I'm telling you what, this don't even seem right to me. So Heidi took off to work. Look at the pollen too. That's funny. We have a freeze warning and a pollen warning out. All the pollen's coming down. And we should have a bird crap warning. Heidi thought she was going to get that off the RV and she forgot to. So I need to go get the garden hose. I'm not too worried about the garden hose my face is already getting cold. The garden hose freezing. I'll just turn it off and make sure I run water out of it so that it doesn't, freeze up and burst any fittings or anything like that. But yeah, I got to drag that over here and again fill some black water and fill some gray water. We'll turn on the propane, both tanks just in case, and yeah, we'll run this thing. Whew, I hadn't even got the hose out yet. It's 49 in here. Boy, it's kind of chilly. Let me see what it is in the bedroom. It is not showing. It's 46 in the bedroom. Oh well. Something that happened the other day, which we've never experienced, running that furnace and everything after, all winter basically, and being out here, our water, to catch the moisture, these things were full. I couldn't believe how full they were. I was shocked. This one was way up here, and the other one was not quite that far. We have one in the bedroom. Something else, Heidi's having a major problem with this. She says this is the sink rusting. Now, the problem with her saying that is, if I rub that hard enough, it goes away. So I think there was something in the sink that actually rusted. I'm not 100% sure, but she could be right, which she is a lot of the times. So what I'm going to do today is maybe take a real light Scotch-Brite and see if I can rub that, just rub that off there. And see if, I don't know, see if it's actually the metal of the sink. Because if so, then this is this has got to be a warranty. I mean, it's a stainless sink. I mean, how can you have rust stains in a stainless sink? First thing we're going to do is the shower. And let me see, let's go ahead and put it like that. Take the pressure off. Open that up. And never thought I'd be doing this. Again, if it wasn't for the fact that I needed to put, the amount of water in the tank to be able to turn on those heaters, I would never have to do this. So that might be a project for the future. I don't see the sense in it. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me other than on a manufacturing side of things, it's a lot cheaper because they can basically run one wire to turn on all those pads from inside the RV. So I can imagine that it might be a bit of a handful to turn those heating pads on. If I have to run wires up here to a panel to separately turn them on. And I think that if I had to do that manually, I don't care even if the switches were in here. I'll keep that one in there maybe for the fresh water, and then I'll do it in here for the rest. I can put one in here for the the gray tank I'll put on this wall, and the black tank I can put on this wall, and just know that if I need to turn on the tanks for this room, what to do. Do that. Come over here. I just picture how long it would take to fill that up. Now I could clean the toilet out, but I did really well before last year ended, and that's with the wand. You hook the garden hose up to this and stick the wand down in there, and you spray it in all different directions. I did that last year. And of course, we haven't used the toilet this year, so there's no sense in doing it again. Like I said, they're asking for 1/4 of an inch of water. That's it, just 1/4 of an inch of water to be on the tank's floor for it to work. Now this hose never touched anything in the toilet, so for all you guys saying, oh my god, he's touching that with his hand, it didn't touch anything. It was up high enough. See what I'm saying? We only have just one freaking button, and it's right here. It says tank heater. This is the water heater if you want to run it on electric. This is the water heater if you want to run it on gas. Of course, this is the water pump. But these are the tank heaters. Let's see if the voltage drops. No. I was looking down here. I figured that it wouldn't because it is DC. So we'll go ahead and run those. See what happens. Currently it's 40 some degrees outside. I'm sure the water, especially since I just brought it out of the well, it's pretty cold. But we'll run those. Hopefully there's not a problem. Alright, so I got to clean up this mess. Got my review done. If you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. I like this thing because it lets me, here, watch this. It's got a real nice display, but check that out. Oh, I said it just right. Oh, I gotta have DC on. There we go. Yay! Wireless charging. That's kind of cool, right? That's awesome. Let's keep on doing that. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. This thing's heavy though. It's like 14 pounds. It's not a portable one too far. I ain't carrying that too far, but it does have has a lot of nice features. So I got to clean this up. It seems like that no matter, every time I do a review, I've always got something laying around after the fact. And you can see that's kind of what I've got going on in here now. So I need to straighten this up, get some of this stuff out of the way, because Heidi is getting awful upset that I'm making this kind of a mess. And we're not even living in it full time. There's something that I don't care for about this, and I could fix this easily. We need to put some kind of no slip on these cushions because I can easily scoop my butt and this thing just kind of right on out. Yeah. All right, guys. So tonight's the night that we're going to stay out in the RV and ward off those evil frozen spirits. In the meantime, I'm watching Mark's Adventures in their live chat.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. I think it is a good deal. Thanks, Gabe. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry you didn't win.
Yeah, Mark's Adventures.
Next
if you
time,
haven't had a chance to check them out, these are a couple that we've met a few times now, and we're going to be going to Pirate Land with them. So I thought I'd stop in on their chat. I just happened to look and seen that they were having a live chat. But I've got the furnace set really low in the RV. I've had it on for about the last hour. I've got the heat pads. Oh, yeah, Mark said, you're asking about the camper. Yeah, we're staying in it tonight, and then we're going to camp in it in a couple nights because it's going to get below freezing again. Guess who's been eating in here? Our son. Look what Heidi got me for my birthday. These are double-walled, vacuum-sealed. This is glass. And they are tumblers for drinking my favorite drink. That's going to be nice. It's going to keep it a lot colder for a lot longer. Thank you, Heidi. So I need to go back in here shortly and get some water, but look at the clouds. I mean, it really looks like winter here. And I don't think we're going to pick it up on camera necessarily, but we do have snowflakes falling. It was a lot heavier, but nothing's sticking. I don't think this is going to work as far as me being able to feel this, but I want to see if we've dropped cold enough yet that those heating pads have heated up these elbows behind the water valves. I can't tell. I just can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell. I know it's not freezing to the touch, but like I said, yeah, I don't know if you can see. Look how much pollen. Look how much pollen is on the car. That's just crazy. We got all this pollen and snowflakes. All right, let's go check this out. All right. First of all, the RV's relatively warm. Not crazy. Nothing unbelievable. It's definitely warmer in here than it was earlier. But the fact that Heidi's going to be home in about, let's see. She gets off. Her store closes at 9. 9:50. She'll be about 9:30, so about an hour. I'll go ahead and bump this up a couple degrees for her. We'll start it on its way. And let it get warmer in here. Nice. Very, very nice. Like I said, this is going to work for us so that we can keep the tanks from freezing without de-winterizing the entire RV.
Here if you're a warm weather lover, but 5 years ago on today's date we set a record high 89 degrees, about 50 degrees warmer than temperatures were this afternoon. Our official high, it's going to go into the record books, is 43 today, but that was a midnight high temperature. We spent the morning in the lower 40s and then got into the 30s this afternoon. Now our high of 43 is 24 degrees colder than the average high, which is 67 on today's date. Second coldest, May 8th on record as far as high temperatures go. And this will be our coldest high temperature for any calendar date in the month of May since May 4th, 1970.
Well, we're in the camper. I'm in the camper. Heidi's actually taking a shower inside. Like I said, I don't think we have enough fresh water necessarily for her to take a shower out here. So this is so far so good. And this isn't anything out of the ordinary. I mean, you guys that have camped in the cold, you know how it is. I don't know if you guys, new people just joined us. I'll tell you, the coldest night that we camped was when we came back from Virginia Beach in our old RV. And we stopped at that Walmart for the night in Pennsylvania. It was cold. It was very, very, very cold. And I had to winterize the RV in the Walmart parking lot before we came back to Ohio. And then once we got back here, we had so much rain and stuff that it was really bad. I mean, that's why we got gravel for the driveway. So go check that video out if you haven't to see a good mess that I caused. Of course, I teased and said it was Heidi's fault, which definitely isn't the case. All right, so Heidi's going to be here in a little bit after she takes her shower. We're going to go ahead and settle down, watch some TV. She closed the store tonight. She got home at 9:35, so a little bit earlier than I thought. No, that's about right. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a good night's sleep. Now, we did bring out our water. Let me show you. And this is our water setup. This is what we always bring with us when we're camping. It's a little bit different. We don't know exactly how to secure it in this RV yet. So it's different. The old Terry camper, I had a special spot for it. And that spot, it was secured. And I didn't have to worry about it falling over or anything. So we've got to find what that spot is here inside this camper. Eventually, inside this RV. So, yeah, it works really well. It's battery powered. The water comes out at a really good rate, and this is the way, and this is the reason that we have drinking water in the RV that has nothing to do with the tanks, the onboard tanks. All right, so it's really early in the morning. We're talking 3:20, I think. And I'm going to come out here and try to check these tanks. You can see kind of the sky here. It's kind of surreal. I still can't believe that it's May. Anyways, it feels like 23 degrees out right now. And I think the static air temperature is right around 26. Now, I don't want to talk very loud, obviously, because somebody might be listening in and think, who's that guy walking around that RV and talking? I mean, you can hear how quiet it is. And Heidi's in there sleeping. I don't want to scare her. So, the inside of the RV is real nice and warm. It's about 73 degrees in there. We did find that the big front windshield of the RV causes the bedroom to feel a little bit cooler. So we'll have to address that in the future if we run into this again. As far as the water that's coming out of the faucet, it's very cold, and it don't feel 40 degrees to me. It feels pretty cold, so let me go ahead and see if I can feel anything here, which I doubt, but I'm going to try. Ooh, these pipes are definitely not freezing. So there's a definite temperature difference between this side of the valve and this side of the valve. Now I'm going to check the black. Well, the black tank feels like it's relatively cold still, but the gray tank definitely feels warmer. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. I can definitely see my breath out here though. So nothing's freezing up, but I haven't noticed a definite warmth. We're definitely looking at some cold temperatures, and for the most part, I think that we're okay. So I will keep an eye on this throughout the night. I'm definitely feeling the need for that sea level, for the tank levels, and also the propane tank level, because I have no idea where I'm at on the propane tank. That's an unnerving feeling when you get into these situations, even though this is an extreme. Hell, we're in our driveway, for God's sake. But it's definitely something that I would much rather have a handle on, to know a lot of things. I'd love to know the tank temperatures. You know, I can't see those tanks up in there. I'd definitely like to know the tank temperatures. And I would also like to know the exact tank levels, including the propane. So that might be an upgrade we might have to do for a peace of mind. Just one of those things. All right, I'm going to sleep. We'll pick this up later. Good morning, everyone. We made it. Heidi took off for work this morning. I just got up just a few minutes ago. It was very comfortable in the RV. It was actually, whenever I thought it was like 72, 73, the temperature, well, I must have bumped it up. It was 75. And as far as I know, the propane's still good. But like you heard me whispering early in the morning there, I definitely need to get some propane tank level sensors or something like that. I would like to... the thing is I've always been wanting to take off this coroplast off the bottom of the RV. And I don't know if you guys know what that is, but the plastic sheeting, basically, that's on the bottom of the RV that encloses the RV. I've always wanted to take that off and just take a peek up in there to get an idea of, you know, where the tanks are exactly, how big they are exactly, the ductwork for the heating, if it routes through, you know, the tanks. I just want to see all that. I mean, the old one, I knew where everything was exactly. I you know, so if I thought there might be a leak, or if I, you know, anything, I just, you know, you could climb underneath there and look and see it. Well, this one being enclosed, I couldn't. So the fact that I want to take that stuff down, I got to make sure that I can secure it back up there again. Last thing I want to do is be losing those things going down the road, because they do help with gas mileage. You know, the fact that the entire underside of this RV is smooth helps with the wind, and the wind entering and exiting underneath the RV without much turbulence. So I want to make sure that those things get put back up in place. Of course, obviously, they also help with the insulation underneath the RV. So what's the deal with the weather? Well, we're done with the freezing weather, but it's real windy out here, so you guys are probably going to get wind noise. We're at 40 degrees for a high today, actually 44. But the thing is we've got, I'm not going back there, dog barking. We've got wind gust up to 30 miles an hour today. And we're going to have windy conditions all day today, that the winds are going to be, you know, 5 to 15 miles an hour. See the doggy? That's right, bark at me. Like you always do. So the deal is we're done with the freezing weather right now, for the most part. We should be okay for tomorrow. However, and today, I don't know when you're watching this, but today is Saturday morning right now. So Saturday night's fine. We get down to where it's like 35, I think. I'll put the weather temperatures in here so you know for sure, because I always forget. And then the temperature on Sunday's okay, but Monday we run into where we could get back down to freezing again. Well, I did want to point this out. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell this, but yeah. See all this? This is all moisture, and it's from humidity that's inside here. This is all humid. So here's what I do is I make sure that when I put this cover back on, I also put some Reflectix in there too. And it definitely helps with keeping the temperature warmer in there overall. So just to let you know, that's what I do. Yeah, let's see this. It's always lovely. Bark at me. That's right, bark at me all day long. Yeah, you can see the wonder that's today. Oh well, it you know, the good news is it's not heavy and it's not sticking. It's just light. I don't know if you can see the snow, but yeah, we got snow on May the 9th. I think I talked enough about the weather, staying in the RV, not camping. Yeah, I'm gonna close this out. So as always, guys, we hope to see you in the warmth out there. Bye.